Out of all the mainstream shonen, I think Naruto is the one that is most like Dragon Ball. Both main characters are extremely goal-oriented, both wear orange and are known for their golden hair. Their main rivals both wear blue, are fighting prodigies and have lost all of their family, and in Sasuke's case, his clan. I mean, even Naruto and Goku's fathers are similar. Both Bardock and Minato died in a valiant effort to stop a future major villain while also saving the lives of their sons. Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, has stated that he views Dragon Ball Z as a masterpiece and has stated that Goku was a huge inspiration for Naruto. In the last video in the Versus series, I stated how One Piece didn't have the greatest representation in the Western Hemisphere like Dragon Ball, but that is not the case with Naruto. You could make a very good argument that Naruto had even better representation outside of their source material. Their video games, toys, and the dub was huge, just great all around. But how does it stack up to Dragon Ball? One Piece is one series, it isn't split into two parts. There's a time skip, but it's still one thing. But Naruto and Dragon Ball are both split into 3 parts, and I'll compare them to each other. For all of the similarities I pointed out with Dragon Ball and Naruto earlier, there are just as many differences between the two in terms of how the story was written, which gave me as a watcher and reader a completely different feel. Naruto started off as an outcast, who later made friends and grew into someone people in his village would respect. Goku wasn't necessarily an outcast, he just lived so isolated from the rest of society he didn't understand how to act in certain situations. The two are both very protective of their friends, but I prefer Naruto for this aspect because it is truly life or death. Both Goku and Naruto were innocent. I can't say happy because Naruto had an absolutely heartbreaking childhood, whereas Goku grew up carefree in the woods, and that carefree nature remained for what is essentially the entirety of Dragon Ball. But that isn't a knock against Dragon Ball. I would say at least half the story is an adventure with some comedy more than it is an action series. But Naruto doesn't take long to let its audience know that it's gonna be a serious story. There'll be some jokes here and there, but in Naruto it's truly life or death. Kishimoto does such a great job of setting the tone with Zabuza and Haku. It happened very early in the series because even though I knew the story was about ninja, they didn't have otherworldly weapons or powers. I did not think that the story was going to have as many casualties as it did. For Haku to sacrifice his life for Zabuza and then for Zabuza to give up his life was sad to see. Naruto cried for his enemies. I mean, how often do you see that? Especially for a 12-year-old. I mean, a little before that, Naruto thought he had lost Sasuke, and this is all before episode 30. For me, Naruto had a different kind of impact because every move one of the characters made would genuinely have an effect on their life. I'm not going to talk about each arc one by one in this video, but I think it's important to highlight this section of the story because of how much it changes the main character. Now that he saw the world differently, us viewers had to as well. And I'd be remiss to not highlight just how great of a power system Naruto has. From ninjutsu to taijutsu to genjutsu, I can make an argument for why all 3 could be considered the best in the series. Different chakra natures, the 8 gates, all the different Kekkei Genkai, there is so much variation in how a ninja gains strength in Naruto, and all of it felt earned. We saw a lot of characters train really hard to develop their techniques, and if a new character was introduced and seemed overpowered, it more often than not made sense because they were a person of great importance. Naruto is also an anime where you can clearly determine that a great deal of attention was given to making sure that a number of characters had true meaning in the story. Sasuke is almost just as important to this story as Naruto. In part 1, Sakura is slightly annoying, but she definitely helped move the story forward. I will argue with anyone that Jiraiya is more impactful than Roshi. Forget Roshi, Jiraiya might be the best shonen mentor of all time. Even weaker characters like Erika had a profound impact on the story. Dragon Ball Z didn't do a great job of giving other characters the spotlight, and Dragon Ball Super is even worse. But Dragon Ball is a step above any other series in the franchise when it comes to developing the most characters and involving them in the story adequately. It's just that Naruto feels like a real world. Not that it needs to be, but that realistic aspect is something I can grasp onto and have a greater appreciation for how well the story is crafted. All of these different villages, fighting towards different objectives, having political disputes, and a few times it comes down to a worldwide war. A very unfortunate occurrence, but something that we as real people are all too familiar with. Dragon Ball just doesn't do it for me, not in the same way Naruto does. But I kind of feel like this was supposed to happen. Naruto is like the son of Dragon Ball, and not in a disrespectful way. It did what Dragon Ball did, but better. You still have to give Dragon Ball credit for leaving the blueprint, however they are so different, maybe they shouldn't be compared. Fortunately, Dragon Ball Z and Naruto Shippuden have a lot more in common, and I'll be making a video on that soon. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and let me know what you think is better between Naruto and Dragon Ball. If this is your first time on the channel, subscribe so you know when I upload more videos like this. But until then, this is BigTune, and thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.